Popcorn Ready podcast. This is your host, Hats, my boy.
Man, that's so lame. Get your popcorn ready podcast.
I'm gonna let him have the energy.
Man, that's
today.
what you got. Get your popcorn ready podcast.
Why you got energy? Why you got energy though?
Because we got somebody with energy.
Okay, who we got in this? Who we got in this piece?
Steelo Brim.
Steelo Brim is in the building, ladies and gentlemen. My
Welcome
man.
to the 100th episode of Ridiculousness. Oh, no, my bad.
Yeah, we ain't there yet. We
The
ain't there yet.
100th. We on like 750 right now. We on 750. Thank y'all for having me, dude.
Yeah, we appreciate you taking the time. We know you got a busy schedule. You everywhere, right? Doing everything every day.
I'm trying.
Right? Producer, writer, actor, comedian, all right. But
everything.
I've never seen you on stage as a stand-up comedian. Are you a really comedian?
Stand-up? No, I've been telling everybody when they ask me, why you don't be doing stand-up? I've been writing stand-up for years. Why you don't be doing stand-up? I'm scared. There's no better answer than being real with people. Being like, I'm just petrified. I've been up on stage a couple times. I've done well. They say if you get laughs on your first couple times, you're doing a great job. Keep going. I made a decision. Nah, it wasn't enough laughs for me.
Right.
You know what?
It wasn't enough laughs?
I mean, no, it wasn't simply laughs. They were laughs, but like in my head, when you're writing something and you helping other people writing stuff, you in your head are like, yo, I'm gonna go up there and it's gonna hit so hard.
Right.
But delivery, timing, everything, you don't know by yourself. It's just a whole different monster once you get up there. But I've not really, and I haven't had the chance because I came out immediately on a TV show.
Right.
So that's my biggest fear is that like, if I get up there, if somebody's just a
they gonna take me off my TV show.
No, not that. It's just like they falling right away.
Oh yeah, for sure.
It's the expectancy of it. They're expecting you they're expecting you to perform like a star.
Yeah.
Yes.
You looking like a star.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
So if you're going up there, so I can't believe I'm tripping right now. You just said you're scared. I'm
What?
I feel you.
You want me to be phony with you?
No. I'm shocked. I'm surprised that you would be scared.
Yeah, I try to keep it a buck on certain things. Yeah, that's one of them that I respect the craft so much.
Yeah.
I respect other people that I like. I just have to tip my hat to them. 'Cause I'm like, I know I can't muster up. I won't say I can't. I know I haven't yet mustered up the real strength to be like, oh, let me just attack this thing. It's something I definitely want to do.
So do you need to seek therapy?
Maybe a hypnotist. Maybe I need to hypnotist.
I mean,
something. I don't know.
Is therapy needed?
Therapy might be needed. I can work through this.
To face your fears?
I can work through this for sure.
Okay.
Wow.
All right.
Again, I think I'm funny.
Yeah.
Right. But
Funny looking.
Hey, I'm that
funny.
too. But
Funny.
I will never go up on stage. That's a thing. Again, I respect the people that do it, especially when you're starting out, first 2, 5, maybe 10 years.
Yeah.
I respect that hustle of it, but I'll never go on stage and tell a joke.
He's looking at us crazy because he's like anything in his life that he feels like he can do, he gonna go after.
Right.
You gotta go.
He looking at us crazy.
I'm tripping, dog, because you have to go after it. You know what I mean?
But that's not one thing I want to go after.
Right. But
I do.
but he
I do.
but
Do it.
Yeah, I know.
And you got to do it then. Yeah,
So what's the toughest part of being a comedian, just being on stage? I mean, obviously, you're not afraid of being in front of a crowd because you work in front of TV, the crowd, this and that. Is it the delivery? You just said you're not getting enough laughs. Like, what would make you comfortable to feel like, okay, I got this, I did this, it's in the bag?
I can, it is on Ridiculous. People believe sometimes that I don't really control the videos, but I am controlling all the videos.
Yeah.
It's a little easier when you know that you can control the pace of the show. So if I am controlling the videos, or if Robin says something, and I'm working to the crowd, because before COVID, we have around like 250, 300 people in the crowd each time we do the show.
Right. Which is a stage in itself.
Yeah, exactly. Right. But I would still be like, if a joke doesn't hit, I can move on and move forward very quickly. I can decide,
You can hit a button.
that video wasn't money. It wasn't my fault. It was the video.
Yeah.
But so it's just, I don't know if you ever get to a place of being comfortable. I think all of it is about being uncomfortable, anything that you're doing new. So I think that you have to be uncomfortable first. I just don't know if I am comfortable yet with being uncomfortable.
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah.
So again, you moved out here to, get in the business, get in the entertainment business. Now you moved out here to do the show, or you moved out here first and then got the show?
I moved out here doing music. I used to A&R. I used to A&R and work with different artists. I actually was helping Rob's cousin do a publishing production company.
Okay.
And they had a studio at the Fantasy Factory, which was in downtown LA. And I would bring all the artists there, all the songwriters, all producers. I was managing producers. And then from there, that's how Rob met me in the studio. Maybe like only 2 or 3 times. And he was like, yo, dude, you're funny as hell. We should do a show. and I thought he was Varnell Hilling me.
Yeah.
You should do something, man.
Yeah, okay.
And I was like, all right, people just be saying stuff.
Right,
It's LA, right?
It's LA.
So I was like, that's cool, bro. Good talk.
Right.
Talk to my manager, the whole thing.
I'm doing nothing.
Yeah.
I'm working, but I'm grinding for real. I'm making no money out here. So I'm like, the fact that this dude even saying this, that's dope. That says that you're going in the right direction somewhat. But then, he called me 3 months later and was like, hey, this is Rob Dyrdek. I didn't have his number in. I was like, hey. He was like, show we mentioned. I mentioned to you, can you be at the pilot tomorrow at 10 a.m.?
Wow.
And it is. And I was like, yeah, I guess I could be there. I got a choice.
Right.
So I went there and probably did horrible at the pilot. I don't really know if I was funny or not.
You can't say you did horrible.
Well,
you landed the show.
I don't know if, Rob tells it to me. He's like, yo, MTV fucking hated you. And I'm like,
Yeah,
I
so
believe,
we did terrible.
Yeah, I'm like, I believe you. He was like, 'cause I know I didn't do terrible, but I knew for them, when we shot the pilot, it was Rob, Chanel, and Drama, and then myself. They were already on the show together.
Okay.
So they looked at it just like, why are we bringing this random dude who's not really killing it?
Right.
He's doing okay, but why are we bringing this random guy to help with this? And Rob was like, trust me. He just doesn't know that he can be more comfortable. Being
himself. Being himself. Right.
I'm gonna let him know. So then from there, we've been doing it now 10, going on 11 years, which is crazy.
24 seasons?
We're in 27 seasons.
27 seasons. I'm sorry.
We're in,
Yeah.
No, it's a blur.
Exactly.
27, and it's just been a super blessing.
That's just like shorting him like a few catches, you know what I mean, a few touchdowns.
Don't
you know
short
what I
my
mean?
touchdowns.
Yeah.
I only got a couple.
I
In
want
case
all
you.
mine.
I want all mine.
my numbers, man.
You know what I mean? I gotta give you your,
I'm 152
your flowers,
from
you know
his
what I mean?
153. So yeah, you know what I'm saying? Well, no, that's a great story though. But again, because we always talk about coming out here, the business itself is so tough, obviously, right? But again, if I was 22, 23, I would have never made that move. I made the move into the business because I had the NFL tag behind me. You know what I'm saying? So it's a lot easier to transition. But yeah, doing that part, coming out here and just going into the business, like how scared, if that's a word, at the moment where you're like, can I transition from this AR to TV?
So coming out to LA, I guess I wasn't scared. It's like the rookie on your team that don't know the moment in the playoffs.
There you go.
He don't even
know.
get it. He don't even understand it. Right. I was 19 when I was out here. So for me, I'm just freshman year I left out of college. I'm like, I had a full ride at school. I was like, I don't want to do this.
Wow.
This ain't what I want to do. I at least know what I want to do. I was probably psyching myself out. I was reading a book called Make It Happen by Kevin Liles at the time. At Morgan State. He went to Morgan State. He was one of I think at the time he was VP of Def Jam. I looked at him and was like, man, I could probably be with this dude. I aspire to be this dude. This dude went to my school. He only stayed for 2 semesters. I'm like, man, I stayed for a full year. I'm already ahead of him.
Right. I'm gonna catch him.
Like, let's do this. So it was easy for me then. Like, okay, I'm gonna move. My best friend was moving to LA. He was like, yo, dude, I'm moving out to act. And he knew I wasn't trying to be in that world. Right. So it was like, all right, let's go out and do our own separate things and kind of just use each other as much as we can and make it in LA. And it was, I guess, scary when I look back. When I definitely look back, it should have been more scary. I wasn't doing great. I was out here on a 7-Eleven diet, I call it. I was eating
7-Eleven diet.
I would go and buy a hot dog from 7-Eleven. I would cut it up in half. I would eat one half for the first half of the day, the other half for the second half of the day. And I would have Arizona iced tea, 99 cents. Only thing that's still been 99 cents.
Hey, shout out to Arizona iced tea. Keep that thing on 99 cents. That's amazing.
And I wasn't even drinking the iced tea. I was drinking grape aid, which was horrible for me. But pure bull. But I was out here and I was like, okay, cool. This is what I'm eating, this is what I'm doing. And I didn't realize that this is no way for you to be living because I was still stuck in college life. I was still stuck in
We've all lived that frugal life that you're talking. We've all hit that spot.
So coming out here, it was just, that was kind of how I viewed it and was like, none of that matters. What matters, I've always been a big picture person. Like you could pitch me 1,000 small things and they're great, but I ultimately want to know where we're going. I don't want to just be doing things just to do things. I'm what is the ultimate goal? What do we look at as success? I don't want to just put my time or my 10,000 hours into something and I'm like, well, I don't know what success is. Whatever God got to give me. He's like, yeah, I agree somewhat. I definitely want God's will, but
what is your definition of success? Because you're still trending up, right, in the business. You're still learning, meeting the people, whatever. You got everybody in your, in your bag as far as who you have to work with in this business. But what is your definition of success in the future?
Just being able to be truly myself and to be able to make money from that. And if that is like something that I could do, then that's great. Like, you know, my biggest fear is coming to an industry that demands so much of you, so much of whatever facade or character you've created, and they want all of that, but they don't really care about you or what you could get, or what you know what I'm saying? So for me, I want to create things. I'm like, I get to say the things I want, or do the things, or represent the people I want to represent. Or if I can't do it, then amplifying others' voices and letting them, you know, tell those stories. So that to me is success. Is I don't care about $1 billion. I'm not that guy. I've never been that guy. I'm way much more the guy that's like, yo, if I can make enough money, my family good, I'm good, and I can live in my truth, I'm winning.
Right. And speaking of bigger picture, you now have your own podcast, which I was on.
I appreciate you so much. Yeah.
Was it Wine and Weed?
Wine and Weed.
Wine and Weed podcast. So we're gonna. I know you may not drink, but I'm gonna.
Are we gonna put? You got your wine on there?
He may not drink, but I'm gonna drink a little wine.
I mean, I'm here with you. You know, I'm gonna drink the 81 with you, baby. You know?
Well,
did y'all have wine and weed on the show?
Yeah.
He ain't smoke no weed though.
Yeah,
You know he ain't smoke no weed.
I ain't smoke no weed.
Smoke some, dog.
I ain't smoke no weed, but I got on that wine.
He did get on that wine. He brought us some wine.
Hey, I got
it was
on that
delicious.
wine, dog. You want some? I know he don't eat.
That's my wine.
He don't
You know what I'm saying?
But to your point, you know, you don't do things that, like you said, you don't feel like that's worth your time. You're gonna put hours in, and obviously, like I said, doing that podcast, I watched it obviously before I went on the show. I started seeing, you know, on social media, start popping up here and there, and like I said, you've involved a lot of obviously your friends, and you have guys that come on and women that give their stories. You're like I said, you're a writer, you're a creator. What went into the establishing of Wine and Weed podcast?
Like for me, it was like me and my co-host Chris Reinecker. Shout out to Chris Reinecker.
Chris. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we write television, and we actually have background writing sketches and comedy together. We started a couple shows together. So for us, we were having all these conversations that were going into the different things we were creating. That we were like, man, I wish we could have some of these much needed combos with others about some of this stuff. You know, for me, it's never been about like, oh, I gotta get you to be on my side. It's like, I just wanna understand what side you're on. I wanna understand whatever it is. So, you know, it'd be crazy for us to think that we all have different religions, different backgrounds, different upbringings, different this, different that, and to think that we're gonna all be on the same page. But if you can be more understanding to others, that's the key to it. So, but doing Wine and Weed, I joke and say that the wine and the weed, they were just these social lubricants we used to have those combos. Maybe we'll feel a little more comfortable. But we don't do a traditional interview show.
There's an answer right there to your fears. You go on the stage, you smoke some weed.
I got smoke some stage now.
Hey, to make you feel comfortable. To make you
That's
feel
part of your
comfortable.
bit.
Yeah, to make you feel comfortable. see how this is coming full circle.
Yeah.
You might, you know what I mean, face your fears. You know what I mean.
I can perform in 38 states.
Yeah. That's all you don't need to perform in every state.
I agree with you.
Not every state.
I agree with you.
Yeah, but yeah, man, I enjoyed, you know, the conversation that we had on. They went left, they went
right.
Yep, they went some of everywhere. We started talking about sex with robots.
What?
All types of stuff. Would you have sex with a robot?
Who's the robot?
Who? See, look, he didn't say no. He was right. Immediately, he was like,
don't you judge me. Don't
Get your popcorn ready for this one. So now we're gonna bring this to the set right here. Would you have sex with a robot?
Depending on who the robot was. Absolutely.
It's more that on the show, months and months in, we were just realizing that for whatever reason, I guess it's not for whatever reason, I guess in history, technology has proven that the first thing people use technology for whenever we get something new is to see sex on it. You know, from cameras and this, that, like people want to see sex on it for whatever reason, right? Okay. So from there, there have been establishing more and more sex robots over time. We started realizing it was happening on our podcast a whole bunch with different things like, wait, there's this sex robot and this company's making it, this company, and then we got to a place where we were like, is this just gonna be the norm when we look up in 2050
Eventually, yes.
and people like, we're not even marrying. It's too many complications with each other. We're fighting and we doing this, and it feels like real love, and you won't get that feeling anymore. But at least I ain't gotta argue no more. I didn't program this robot.
Because there are movies out where they have robots that are like real life. They're real life people, and they're understanding just like humans.
But if you bring it to right now, 2022, a person is in love with their pet. They have true feelings with their pet, and that's not a human. So you can't tell me 50 years from now that they're not going to love a robot the same way. It's going to be the exact same
people
thing.
already love pets better than humans.
That's what I'm saying. But they're not
better than humans.
And they do. Yeah, I don't want. Yeah, let's not get into that conversation.
I mean, I've heard there have been some people have sex with pets.
Absolutely.
That's a bit far fetched. I heard it's a little bit far fetched for me, but I'm just saying we'll stick with the robots. Let's stick with the robot.
I mean, just that first version of it is gonna be a little rough though. That's the only thing. With that first version of the robot,
the beta version is
gonna be a little rough.
But you keep saying who depends on who. What are you trying to?
So you saying you only want the robot if you get to choose the exact I get to make up my perfect robot.
If my robot looks like J-Lo, I'm going in.
So but they gonna be selling J-Lo robots. You ain't gonna have no original robot.
I want my own.
You're not gonna. Yeah, you gonna have your own, but it's gonna still be like have your own Fiat. You gonna just go outside and tell people with their Fiats outside and be like, man, I thought my J-Lo was special.
I got my own.
So would you create? And everybody always like you're in a relationship. You're in a relationship. So again, just say you weren't in a relationship. Would this be a situation where you create your perfect person?
Is it cheating? Is sleeping with a robot cheating on your partner?
I think every relationship is different. That's what rules y'all have in your relationship. If your woman,
is this a rule in your
relationship? If your woman
relationship?
bought you the robot, that seems like she wants you to go ahead and kick it with the robot a little bit. You might be annoying her. But I don't think cheating is cheating with the robot if we both got robots. Now, if it's a household where you got a girl and you only got yourself a robot, it seems selfish.
Would you get your girl a robot?
Would I get my girl a robot? Absolutely. If she want a robot.
Well, they don't necessarily need to get a robot. There's a lot of adult sex stores.
We're talking about robots.
Those are pretty much they're robots in a sense. They just don't talk to you, but they're robots. They're battery operated.
Gentlemen, I don't know where this conversation went, but we up in here. We're all up in here with robots and
we just inserted wine and weed into Getcha Popcorn Ready.
Robots coming to you on Getcha Popcorn Ready podcast with Steelo Brim is in the building, blowing our mind. Because again, I think futuristic like that, right? I'm a big 2040, 2050. We're gonna be living on the moon and space.
Stop right there.
Yeah.
Do you believe in UFOs?
Do I believe in them? Yeah.
You weird, and you're
weird.
I know.
Weird.
Y'all weird.
You're a hater.
No, I'm not a hater.
So you're saying in this billions of universe, right? We ain't never seen nothing? An unidentified flying object.
And you from the South? I know that's where they land at too. That's where they parking at, fam.
All that land.
All that land. That don't believe.
Hey, look. All that land.
There hasn't been anything concrete.
Yes, there has.
Legitimately, they released real how crazy America was this year? There was so many crazy things going on in the world. They were like, you know what? Well, wow, this is happening.
Yeah, this ain't nothing.
I'm gonna let y'all know aliens are real. They released classified information. I don't know if it was Trump just being like, I'm getting a lot of heat. Let me go ahead and put this out there. But they definitely released actual classified information.
I have to see something concrete. I need to see.
I
need to see an alien. I need something. Something.
Look in the mirror.
I need to. Look
in the mirror. No,
you
look in the mirror.
Nigga, this is the mirror.
Alien head.
Look at this.
So, but yeah, I definitely believe that it's gonna be released like pictures and all that more as the time comes. Yeah. Right, you know what I'm saying? But all the stuff that's released now, it's real enough.
I'm with them. I do want to
I should have known. I should have known.
And also on top of that, for me, it's like, do you think that, we have photos of aliens, blah, blah, and they live in cool. Or do you think it's going to be like, no, they've been here for so long. And we are amongst people like this guy, who's a freak of nature, and you're like, he probably is an alien. That makes way more sense.
Yeah.
That makes way more sense.
Absolutely.
More science. It's just like, you're not alien bodies at this
Absolutely. Point. It's part of it. They're here. They've been here.
They've been here. They've been here.
Yes, you are here. They're amongst us, and I can't wait. Because again, 2027, the first space hotel is going up in space, right?
But how we know?
Because they've already started on it.
I know, but how we know?
And my question is, are you gonna go?
Absolutely not. I'm not.
Wait a minute. He's like, how are you not going? We on our way.
Well, I don't know. You know what?
I'm going.
We may look up and we be like, yo, you know what? We might be out here going to space like Amtrak's. We might be like, yo, it's a megabus and you can take $2 in space. Yeah. It's gonna be Spirit. It's gonna get a little rough up there.
Yeah, you're gonna get nervous.
Yeah, but at the same time, you're like, oh, people go in space quite often. I don't know. If we're headed toward that and it feels like it's safe, then I imagine that you asked the first person when the Wright brothers were putting the plane together.
They didn't believe it, right? I'll never do that.
I'm not doing that.
Well, Michael Strahan, they
went up to the
he
origin.
went into space.
On the edge, it's the edge of space, but yeah.
Yeah, which everybody keeps saying. That's like, I don't like that.
Right.
Pete Davidson was supposed to go last week. They handing out tickets at this point.
Right, exactly. So is that considered?
That's the space hotel in 2027.
I know what a picture looks like. I'm saying, how do we know this is here?
Well, it's not there yet. It's being built.
It sounds like a scam, fam. It sounds like he got this fun.
Hey,
and it was like, yo,
they gonna get all my Marriott points then, because I'm going.
This is a Marriott?
No, I'm just.
Oh, like this is a Marriott?
Hey, take all my little points. I'm going. Take them all.
This is weird.
Trust me.
This is weird.
Hey, that's where we headed though.
You're not going?
No.
He's scared.
You're not?
I'm scary behind. He's scared.
No, I'm not going.
Why not?
No.
Why not?
I'll let a few other people test the waters first.
That's what I'm saying.
And then, if there's enough success rate to where, like you said, I'm comfortable, I'll be there.
What's a good rate look like? What if we like, yo, it's 95% or 98%?
And I think, 98, yeah, but
but the 2% though, like,
that's all.
We heard about it. We heard about it.
You might know those.
We heard about it.
There's always that 1% or 0.5%. And then too, like I said, it depends on who's going. I want to go with somebody because, like I said, if I go with some people that I really like, then and it's a great group of people, then if we go all die, we're gonna die together.
You go with people you like. I want people I love. You go with people you just like.
Well, that's. I love too. You know what I mean? Like is love to me. You know what I mean?
You go on second dates up there? Like, come on, man. I got tickets.
We're gonna have Tinder in space.
Go to
Tinder in space, basically. Swipe right, you can go to space.
I stand corrected. Yeah, people that I love.
Yeah, I gotta be willing to die with you.
Yeah, exactly. People that I love being around and hanging with.
So you believe in that stuff, but you don't want to go to space.
I don't. We're talking about 2022, where it is getting real already. We are talking to people doing this. Like you said, we have to believe that Jeff Bezos and Elon Musk have been, testing out the waters and going up there and all that stuff. Cool. I just think, as we're talking about that beta version, that's what I'm saying.
You won't be first.
I'm never. Oh no, I'm not.
So that group that's going to Mars, right?
Yeah.
I think they're taking 6 people up there. Like that would be my life dream to be one of those people to go up there.
Let's get you up there.
It ain't gonna happen. I already tried. I tried to fill out the application.
Are you really out here?
But because to say that I was the first human to ever step on another planet, that blows my mind.
It does. Remember, they used to have to be where you had to be actually trained for anything.
Right.
It used to be like, we have the best astronauts in the world going to space.
Physics
now,
and all that.
Pete Davidson.
Basically.
That's how crazy it is now. Like, you want to be the first to that?
I don't want to ride with Pete.
No, we used to have pictures of people in school with astronauts. You didn't really know they were just black with a helmet. You was like, I guess. Black person, that's pretty cool.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's really awesome.
And now it's just like
anybody.
Like influencers.
You get a million Twitter followers, you can go to space.
Yeah.
Basically, that's what they saying. That's your man.
I'm good.
Looking for more in-depth sports stories? The Lead, a podcast from Wandry, has you covered. I love this show. It's a really digestible way to get all the details of whatever the headline of the day is. The show is hosted by Otters Kelto and Tiffany Oshinsky, and they tackle everything from championship wins inside the locker rooms to fully detailed information of the situation with Brittany Griner's Russian detainment. There's a new episode every day, and it's always a story you'll want to know about at the water coolers or even that few weird minutes before the Zoom meeting gets going. Listen to The Lead on Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, or you can listen ad-free by joining Wandry Plus in the Wandry app. Get your popcorn ready. Sunday lawn. Spring is here, and that means it's time to get your yard looking fresh. But if you don't like having all the pesticides, maybe you have kids or pets, or just don't want to mess with the stuff, there's a new game in town. Sunday can help you grow a beautiful lawn without all the guesswork or the nasty chemicals. Traditional lawn care lays down about 90 million pounds of pesticides each year, but not Sunday. They make it so you don't have to choose between having a beautiful yard and the health of your family by using natural materials like seaweed, molasses, and more, which are 100% safe. Simply head to the website, give them your address, and they'll create a custom nutrient based on their soil analysis tool and climate data. Before you know it, it'll be delivered to your door, and from there, just attach the ready-to-use pouch to the house and spray it. It takes less than 15 minutes. Full season plans start at just $129, and you can get 20% off at checkout when you visit getsunday.com/popcorn. That's 20% off your custom plan at getsunday.com/popcorn.
Let's go back. Let's get back to the subject.
Let's come back down to earth.
Come back to earth. Yeah, let's come back to earth, and let's talk to Steelo Brim. You know what I mean? We know you have so many accolades and so many accomplishments. Tell us a little bit about Eldorado Excursions. This
that's his middle name. You know that, right?
Eldorado's my middle name, yes.
Eldorado's
so
your
you
name?
named your company.
It's all good.
That's
good.
crazy.
It's very unique. You're very unique. You're very
That
unique.
is the most pimperish shit I've ever heard. I
You
love
just
it
pictured
for
him
you.
in a maroon brim, right, with the feather on top.
Eldorado's my middle name. And when you say even no game, it's not you pulling up Eldorado's my middle name.
I used to be, growing up, I used to hate, nobody never really knew my middle name till like here recently. Because I would never, yeah, exactly. People started Googling and.
It was crazy.
Oh man, I mean, they would just bring it out of nowhere. We'd be talking about,
Space.
Yeah. Sandwiches. Yeah. Like, yo, is your name really Elder? Middle name really Elder? Dude, what?
Yes, it is.
Yeah. Anyways, tell us about this new project.
I love that we connected to this project.
Yeah.
No, it's just just wanting to create with no limits, wanting to I want to always be somebody that's just like, when I go into these different rooms, when I'm around different people, institutions, or actual groups, we were told a lot of them are unspoken rules, or some of them are actually rules that you hear that you're told of things you can and can't do. Well, who made these rules? A lot of times. So for me, I just want to create things that say, hey, well, I don't have to go by the stereotypical rules or your.
Get out the box.
I can always be out the box if I want to, as long as I'm creating things from a real and pure standpoint and a quality standpoint, making sure that if I'm gonna put my name on it, I'm gonna make sure I stand on it as well. I don't want to just put out anything that I'm just like, oh, just did that just for fun. I hope y'all enjoy that. Like, so many people probably do work in different industries or aspire to, and one of them you can see that gives more to than other. I wanted to at least make it where people felt like, oh, this feels real. And it is. Again, my background is in A&R. I came out here to do music, so it was me circling back on my dreams, on my goals.
Gotcha.
Ridiculousness wasn't my dream. It's been a blessing. It's been nothing but the biggest blessing. But it wasn't my dream. I didn't come out here for that. So I wanted to make sure I did that for myself. You know what I'm saying? How you will, have NBA or NFL players or whatever be like, Mom, I'm gonna get my degree. But I gotta.
Let me go do this right quick.
I gotta do this, man.
Back.
I'm gonna come back and get that degree. That's what that degree was for me, of being like, hey, I'm gonna get my degree one way, shape, or form. And I still got so many other things, like moves I'm making in music right now that, I want to always, as I have management background and everything else, I want to make sure I'm always amplifying other voices that I believe in and people I think are dope. So that's why I didn't want to go about this project, even though I'm cool with Chris Brown, I'm cool with Ty Dolla, I'm cool with this person, I know this person. I wanted to make sure it was these people who I felt real organic and people I believe in, I think are stars and maybe not getting their proper looks, and we came up with some good music.
Right. What's some advice you got along the way of this journey of trying, because again, you sound like that's the plan, right? You've seen the vision, you got your plan, right? Who gave you some of that advice during this process?
I think life did. I think the pandemic did. I think a lot of the time did. As things were moving very slow but very fast, you don't want life to move you by. Past you. So you're like, I want to make sure I'm checking off stuff and not as a bucket list when I'm like, oh, I'm old now, and these things you can't really do it. So I'm like, I wanted to always kind of live in this space, do this thing. Well, what's stopping you? You got this blessing from God that's giving you money, so you got a chance to really create something. So really nothing's stopping you but either your own self-doubt, your fears, or whatever it may be, will stop you from doing stand-up. So I wanted to make sure that I was like, all right, well, get this out for you. And if this doesn't become the #1 record in the world, you don't care. You get this out for yourself, and on top of that, you get it out so to be an example for others, to be like, I've had so many people with me be like, fam, there's so many things that I've wanted to do, and I've just been doubting myself, and
hesitant,
you putting out this project
procrastinating,
or something that made me be like, maybe I shouldn't doubt myself. I don't know if that's good or bad.
Right. You ever did motivational speaking?
Nah, I don't.
You sound like that guy. You know what I'm saying?
I'll be too real and weird about different things. Like when I look at motivational speaking sometimes, this is me. This is my opinion right here. Right. This is nobody else's. When I look at motivational speaking sometimes I think of it as a scam sometimes. And it bothers me in ways that I'm like, could I do it? I think I'd be amazing at it.
Right.
I think I could fucking kill it, and I could be worth hundreds of millions of dollars from telling people what they should do for their lives.
Right, yeah.
I don't know if sometimes taking money from people at seminars who don't have anything and it's their last and they're coming to hear you speak is the right.
Did you give them enough?
Yeah. It's like, it's that, because I try to come from a pure place and a good place. So I don't know if I'll be able to really stand on it as much as I would, because sometimes I be looking at it and be like, if you need somebody to wake your ass up every day and motivate you, it might not be it. Right. And that sucks, but that's only for some people, not for everybody, but it might not be there. So it's just a struggle of like trying to tell people, you can do it if you don't really believe. There's no way you believe that every single person in that room is the person that did it. You just okay with doing it.
Right, because the person that's speaking or doing the motivating, that's their path, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And as he's saying, like everybody's path, everybody's journey is different. Like even when people have asked me to speak or be a motivational speaker, I'm like, no, I'm not that. I'm not your Tony Robbins, type of guy. They can, if you want that, then you can go
to Tony Robbins.
Right, yeah. I mean, there's a number of videos and seminars and things you can subscribe to get that. Like he said, I like organic, authentic conversations. Like what has made me me? If you feel, really comfortable enough to come to an event or spend your money to hear me speak, then I like it to be more organic. I like more of a Q&A, a moderated type of environment where I can engage with the crowd. Like, you can ask them questions here and there, but I like to really sometimes open it up to the audience because, again, they may have questions. You're just sitting up there listening to a guy speak and tell you what to do, how to do it, this and that and the other, and you still have questions and you don't really get any answers to that.
It's that intimacy. It's that real, like, I went to my parents' pastors at a hole-in-the-wall church. We had like 12 members. But like, one of the good things about that was that, like you said, you got to ask the pastor whatever question you want to.
Right.
You got to really understand the word. You got to really understand what I'm trying to take from this and what the disciple is versus, and again, to each his own. Not saying that this doesn't work for a lot of people, but again, the other person who has 50,000 members in a mega church in a congregation. Right. I can't talk to all y'all. Everything ain't gonna touch everybody the same.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I'm with you. That's been the biggest issue when people be like, hey, I'd be like, I think I could probably do that as well. But I also am a person like him that thinks I can do anything. Mm-hmm. I'd be telling myself I could do anything. So I'd be lying to myself, I don't know.
Right. But again, that's really the message that we kind of want to, convey to people. Just go do it. Go do anything. Like, because we have too many people out here that want to just hate on everybody else for doing everything, right? If you go do your everything, then you'll stop hating on everybody else. You know what I'm saying? So, again, so what's some of the messages you're trying to give to the people who are in your circle, and helping them chase their dreams? Like, what are some of those?
Right, because there are people like that don't know who Steelo Brim is. They may see you on Ridiculousness, and that's it. They don't really know who you are. But again, like I said, they may see and they aspire to be you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, for my peers or people around, colleagues, and anything, I be just trying to. I don't know. I think I have a decent business sense. I think that sometimes you come into these different industries, music business or the entertainment business, and people forget that keyword business, and they they come in as talent, and they come in and think that people don't care about you being talented. No offense, unless you're just like, unless you just this guy, unless you're just like, oh, this person's a freak of nature where you like, oh, I get that. People don't actually care. They care about whatever they got going on, whatever business that is. If you can help that, then cool. So it's your job to care about yourself and to understand that we're all a brand, we're all a business. What are you selling from your business? What are you selling from your brand? And also, what are you conveying? What is your messaging? What is your overarching umbrella that you like, oh, okay, if I know my brand story, then I know that everything else that I build under that brand story is gonna trickle down, it's gonna feel right, it's gonna be real. But if you are just trying to create, and there's no real brand story here, don't be surprised there's no longevity here. You haven't told a great story. We're all telling a story. You're writing your own story. It's about how you're writing it and what are the details of it and all that stuff.
Right. So again, like you became a creative producer on the show, right? After a certain period of time. Like, how'd that conversation go as far as being looked at as talent, but no, I can be creative too?
Yeah, see, like I just signed my production deal with Paramount Plus last year, and like even when I went in and pitched to them, like I've been on Viacom for 10 years, you know, and I could have very well went in there and said, I've been here 10 years, I'm gonna just come in here and pitch myself and tell them what we can do. But nah, I looked at it and was like, yo, I know talent don't come in here with decks. Right. Talent ain't coming here with real boom, 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 boom. I'm coming in pitching TV shows that I'm not even attached to. I'm pitching them 15 shows at once, and maybe I'm mentioning one of them. They like, damn, this dude different. This dude came in and he ain't even, because people come in and say, I got an idea. So
listen to me.
And you're like, you know, so like, for me, it was like, all right, well, what are you actually trying to create? And it's easier to kind of work yourself into certain things when you can trust somebody as a creative, when you come in with ideas and concepts and different things. So yeah, I forget what I was even going with that, but
the creative part.
Being at Viacom for 10 years, I could have very well been like, oh, this ain't that. I could, you know, this is family at this point. But whenever I'm going into a room, I'm just trying to really create or present something.
Position yourself.
Yeah, position myself. I always say everything we do is a reel. It's a reel for the next thing you have going.
Right.
Okay. So you're just shooting or you're creating whatever it is for the next thing. You're building equity in yourself. It don't matter if it's, you know, business. You'd be lying to yourself if you like, oh, I'm gonna make money my first year out. Maybe. That's not how business normally works.
Right. Maybe not.
Yeah. So don't you know, set yourself up for failure.
Put your eggs in one basket.
Yeah, but also be willing to invest and lose on self, knowing the bigger picture.
In the long run.
You know what I'm saying? Like you hear about some people being like, man, it took me forever to make $5,000 a month. But then once I got to $5,000 a month, 10 came so quick, and then 20 came quicker. That's not a method. Nobody's just telling the same story and lying about that. That's how it really is. And that's probably that person losing so much in the beginning, but that was equity. That was a reel they were created to say, now I've proven I can do this. Now, so me coming in as a producer on Ridiculousness, I came in season 2, I started producing. But I didn't come in just and was like, oh, I'm on the show, make me a producer. I really went in the writer's room. I asked them, let me go in the writer's room and let me actually help you package these things together, grab clips, doing this, you know, and it got to a place where they was like, you don't really love it here. We're gonna let you go back just to the producing on that side. You working too hard, fam. We don't need you on this end and that end.
That was just you.
Yeah, but I wanted to let them know that I valued being there. I'm the person that, like, I hit Rob once I got on the show, I'm hitting him with numbers before he even get the numbers from MTV. He's like, how do you get these numbers? How you know the viewership? Because I'm researching, I'm being involved in anything. I want to know what's going on.
Right.
I want to know, I don't want to just be a part of something and not know what's actually going on. So I'm over here telling him like, hey, these numbers are this, we did this in this demo, we should try to do more on this. And he like, yo, you care.
Right, that's awesome. So again, it goes back, we do all things like we do small things, right? So you went in and you act like you are that person, right? You're the producer, the right now guy, not talent, right? But now when you got people pitching to you, and since they're your friends, since they're from Shy, they get, they don't have to have decks, they don't have to have the best pitch. You're like, yes you do.
No, you do.
Like how do you, kind of tell
manage
them,
you
know what I'm saying? Like, I need you to
navigate.
keep it real and be more professional.
I think I've been out here for so long that like, and I thank God that I probably got pitched more stuff when I wasn't in a position to do anything, which is better.
Yeah.
Because it's easier to say no. Because you like, nigga, I'm trying to get on. I don't know what's going on out here. I am trying to make it.
Right.
Versus like now you start to have a little more leverage, a little more this, a little more that, where you're like, okay, I can actually make some things happen. I know this person needs my resources, this. For me, the people around, like, my real core group knows what to pitch me, and we're all around people that we can pitch each other in different things. So it's not just like, oh, if it's from back at the crib, I'll listen, because you never know where a good idea is gonna come from. But I also will let people know, like, it's so hard to get something made.
Yeah.
Like, don't kid yourself. Just 'cause I like the idea doesn't mean that it doesn't mean anything. I have to go to the next person.
It could still be 10 years away from getting
that idea. It could be 10 years away. I think I was watching Winning Time recently, and they were asking, it's pretty good. They were asking like, oh, well, how'd you guys know you had something? They're like, we started writing this in, I think, 2013 or something. It's like, it's been like 9 years for us to put this even together. Like, and I was like, that's Hollywood.
That's it.
And it's not even like, oh, that's so crazy. That's crazy to you at home watching because you don't. Because
you didn't
you're not
grind.
out here. You're not looking at it.
You didn't grind for 9 years.
Especially overnight. You know, you might look at somebody and be like, man, he really came out of nowhere. And then you look back and realize, wait a minute, he had 32 credits before we ever saw him in this movie. And you like, yeah, that dude's been putting in work. Mike B. Jordan, one of my best friends. He was in a movie at 8 years old. He didn't blow up until maybe 25, 26. He started getting maybe 27. Like, we got 20
16,
years.
17
20 years of me putting in work in a game. But just because you don't know him, you like, man, that dude came out of nowhere.
They see the movie today. They see the TV show today. Like, yo,
everybody, I mean, that's what society is gravitating to, is that instant success. They want that lightning in the bottle because they don't see the path, they don't see the journey in which, you know, people successful go through to get to where they are.
Facts.
It's a long journey, right? And again, so we always talk about the transitioning through the journeys, right? Sacrifice and stuff like that. So it's like those things that you had to sacrifice to be out here, right? Being around friends and family, stuff like that. Like, tell the world, like, how important the dream is more than just being comfortable with your family and friends and staying home.
Ooh, how important? Ooh, I don't know if I like look at it as how much more important the dream is, but definitely living for yourself. There's importance in that, and finding yourself, whatever journey that may be. It's tough. It's really tough because you do miss your family. I got a big family. I'm a family person. I love my family, so it's like it's super tough when you like out here. You know, you think you're doing the right stuff. You think you're doing the right thing. You're going towards something. You know, a lot of times being in the industry, a lot of
the bells and whistles.
Yeah, a lot of
lights,
things that makes you be like, am I going in the right direction? This industry feels kind of crazy. Am I even doing the right thing? Like, I'm missing out on quality time with my niece. I'm missing out on quality time with this. So I don't know if I looked at like how much more important it is, but I definitely think it is important to live for self. I think you meet so many people who are like, they went to college and finished it, I think people should go to college, definitely. But they finished it because it's what their mom wants, what their dad wanted, or it's what my family, we all went to this university. So we have to, it's just a part of it. And it's like, all right, I hope you find happiness in that. I haven't heard of many stories of people finding happiness and truly trying to do things just for others.
Other people, right.
But yeah, it's super important that like, to stay with it, man. Stay with it and don't be afraid to dream. And I was on a different podcast talking recently. I was talking like how expensive it is to dream. And that's not just a monetary thing. It's not just like, oh, it's expensive to dream just because it costs so much money. Yeah, it can, but it's expensive to dream because you lose relationships, you lose different things. Like, you know, and for most people, you can't actually afford to dream. You know, you can't really afford to dream. You get stuck in jobs. You get stuck in, you like, I would love to do this thing. What's stopping you? Life. A lot of stuff is really stopping me, you know? And it's very scary, like we said earlier, but it was, I guess, destined for me to be like, I ain't thinking about none of that. I'm focused on this big picture stuff over here.
Yeah, what it, like the big picture as far as like, maybe build a huge record label, huge movie studio, TV studio. Like that the biggest goal at the 10, 15, 20 years away?
Not 10, 15. Like for me, I feel like I could do all that stuff now. Not like
you seem like a guy, you live in the moment.
Yeah, I definitely do. I try to.
Right.
I try to, but then I still, I'm like, I see
know where you're
the
going.
future. Yeah. I'm living in the moment, but I'm still being like, but that's the goal over there. So let's not even lose track of that. I think that, growing up here, I looked up to people like Diddy watching Making the Band and being like, oh man, if I can own me a label one day, it's gonna be crazy. And if I can do this. So like now that I'm like really getting to see the industry, I'm like, it doesn't matter if I build the biggest of that. I want to build the best or the most quality. Like versus, oh, this is just the biggest. We have the most movies, or we have. I've been on. Again, at Viacom for 10 years, they pitched me everything under the sun. Once you get over there, they're like, oh, let's give you more stuff to do under this umbrella. For me, it's about knowing what your brand is and not just want to do stuff again just to do it. So I was like, I would decline so much stuff.
Because the other shows are pretty much under your brand. You think that fits you, that fits the branded
The other thing I'm creating now? For sure. Wine and Weed was the first thing I did after Ridiculousness, and that was something that I wanted to do to get the purest version of my voice across. Like, I didn't want to do a podcast for so long. My writing partner was like, we got to do podcasting. He's been podcasting forever. I was just like, I don't know. Got to a place where I was just like, all right, man, maybe. And I'm so happy I did. I think about the time, like, I'm so happy I did because it really allowed me to tell people my voice and who I really am on Ridiculousness. It's a 22-minute show, all in, 30-minute show. All in, and early seasons, it's not my show, it's Robbie Deck's show. He just started the show, and I understand that, and I respect that, that's dope. So they had no problem editing me out as much as they want to.
Right.
They have no problem being like, your laughs hit really hard, we giving them the Rob.
Yo's go to Rob.
I'm like, cool, do your thing. Because I understood TV as well, like, well, ain't none of it real. I know that we have to do it. Me and Rob joked about it all day. Right. Like, man, they cut you out, man. Really
did it again.
Yeah.
Got you.
But for me, I never tripped on that because I knew that my time would come on whatever I was doing, and I would be able to truly give my voice to whatever it is versus me having a job and being good at a job.
Your time gonna come, dog. Your time is gonna come.
Time is now.
I don't know what this is about. I don't want to
Stay out of it. Hey, you don't want none of that.
No, your time is gonna come. Your time is gonna come.
Absolutely. So, go ahead.
Speaking of winning time, obviously the basketball move. You're a big basketball. I know you're a big follower of basketball. Been in LA. You a Clipper fan, Laker fan? I probably know where you're gonna go with this. But what do you think of the Lakers right now?
Oh, what do I think of the Lakers right now?
That's where you think.
Yeah.
I think it's fine. I think LeBron's played 19 seasons straight. He deserves an early vacation. He does. He honestly.
He's earned it.
He's earned. LeBron has given so much to the game of basketball. He deserves to actually get a little more rest and relaxation so he can come back next year in 20 season and perform again at the man is gonna win the scoring title this year in his 19th season.
Which is, dude, that is phenomenal.
I don't focus on the Lakers, and
Smart.
I focus more on like what Bron's journey is. Okay. I will say this much. I know this is gonna be a discussion you don't want to jump into. I will say this much. But, hey, I heard a sports
analyst commentator
say something recently about
something crazy.
No, it was like if Bron just lost early more, we wouldn't care.
Expectations wouldn't.
It's just that Jordan won 6 titles in the actual finals 6 times. Boom, got all those MVPs in the actual run that he did. Dope. But Jordan lost so many years before he ever even got there.
Before that,
and he lost early and often.
Right.
And nobody ever mentions it.
Because nobody
LeBron's
really
been good since he got here.
Right.
18 years old, they're expecting this man to save the NBA.
Right. The expectations, the potential,
He did.
the
And at
evaluation.
21, Jordan did save the NBA as well.
No, I'm not saying Jordan did from an entertainment standpoint.
Yes.
Right.
Entertainment, 100%. I think Mike is more entertaining.
Yeah.
I think that what LeBron has done, I don't know if Mike could have done that. I don't know if you can know that, hey man, when you go outside, it's gonna be 10 dudes trying to beat you up, and you knock all 10 of them out. I don't know if you could know that. Bron knew, like, okay, he's sitting there. Like, I think you probably better off moving off, just like, I'm assessing the situation, or not going outside. Yeah, and Mike, I think I'm from Chicago, Mike has won us many championships, so I thank him for it. But for me, my GOAT is LeBron. So
How?
He's younger, that's why.
No, that's not why. I watched Mike play through his years.
How? Yeah, because he just said he's
He
from
didn't watch Mike like we watched Mike.
Maybe not but I watched Mike.
How can you be from Chicago and say this
going to
and
jail.
go back to Chicago
Chicago
and
jail.
face your friends?
You going to Chicago jail?
We ain't out here just dying on this hill of light. We ain't down on this hill with Mike just because he ain't even from Chicago.
He's North Carolina.
We gonna rock with you being from Chicago more we did you working for Chicago.
Okay, but
I think Mike is Mike, obviously, and he did so much for you. And I did watch Mike. My dad did kind of mess us up a little bit. He made me a Knicks fan.
Ooh.
For many years.
How are you navigating all this?
Yeah, it was a lot. A lot for a kid to handle. It really was.
That's a lot on your plate.
I cried when Patrick Ewing missed the layup, man.
Yeah.
When the finals, I legitimately locked myself in the bathroom in the house and cried. Don't know why I was so attached.
Right,
to the Knicks.
but you were.
We didn't live in New York.
Right.
None of that.
Wow.
My dad convinced me that the
was the
Knicks were the
team.
most pro-black team.
Hey, that's
and
the
we gonna root
the
for
power
the
of a
Knicks.
preacher. That's the pastor.
He wasn't no pastor at all.
Oh, he wasn't?
To you, he was.
But he had those anointing powers.
Yeah,
To you, he was Jesus. You know what I'm saying?
So y'all got Mike just landslide? Let's go.
Mike is the most influential and best basketball player ever in history. Absolutely.
Influential is a different argument.
Well, he has both.
I think LeBron James is the greatest basketball player. I think Mike maybe be the biggest dog.
Okay.
On that court.
Yeah, I can see that. So again, with me, I think LeBron, like I said, he's the most athletic, most talented basketball player I think that has played in the NBA. A guy that can play 1 through 5.
Yeah.
Like what he's, like you said, we're speaking on his 19th year, and what he's averaging is unbelievable. But when you talk about I think for me what separates them is and I think a lot of people would agree with just the mentality, the killer instinct. I think that those two possession. I think if LeBron had that, I think he would tip the scale. He would move the needle for a lot of people that are on the fence.
I think Bron has it as well.
But
I think we're comparing them.
We're talking about Bron being the top scorer in his 19th year.
Yeah.
But we all know that Jordan was a better scorer. That's not even
Yeah,
you know what I'm
first
saying?
of all,
So I'm not really impressed with
Before we
a
go any
losing
further
team
I know
and
we're
him
talking-
scoring those points.
You
I know
was
we're
impressed when
talking-
Mike was 40 doing it on the Wizards.
They were
and having only 20 points a game. You was impressed by that.
I don't even see that Wizards career. I don't even see that.
I saw it.
But I know we're
That was your,
discussing,
what,
we're
15,
discussing
16?
LeBron and Mike, but I would be remiss to not mention Kobe Bryant.
Kobe's two.
Conversation.
Kobe's two.
Yeah, but I think Kobe's 2 to Mike. LeBron
Right.
is so different than Mike.
Both of them,
That's why you
right.
compare those two. That if
Individually.
you say Mike, Kobe and them,
In their own category.
they're like almost the same player.
Right, because if there was
no Mike, there is no Kobe. So
Because
you
like
look at them, it's almost the same player.
right, yeah.
Versus Bron gave us what Magic was with more points and more. And Bron has been clutch the rest of his career. I think Bron's career actually mirrors, as I'm talking more to Tom Brady's.
Oh, not even close. No.
You think Tom Brady's career is better?
Absolutely. You know how
Y'all hate
it's
Bron
way
so
harder.
much. I don't
hate Bron.
First time
I don't hate
the whole episode. This hate is crazy.
If you put how hard it is for an NFL team to repeat more than NBA teams, it's dang near impossible. And he's done it in a more physical sport. And the pieces that he's had around him are way less than what LeBron has had around him.
More physical now, or you saying back when he started?
I mean, NBA is now, it's not physical.
I'm just
football.
asking the
Not
question.
even close. Luckily, Tom don't get hit now, is what you're saying. I feel you.
What?
You
Tom's
touch
chilling.
Tom like
Tom's
that.
chilling.
That's 15.
Tom's chilling, fam.
I'm not mad at that.
Tom's
Right.
chilling.
That man.
I always just saying that from the standpoint of that Tom is now, what, 44? 44 years old. I could see Bron playing until he's 40.
I can see
43.
So
also, I can see Bron, because Tom is also, not that Tom isn't amazing,
Right.
but he's still being rewarded for Father Time, for just being able to beat Father Time. Longevity.
Yes, absolutely.
Because you're winning more because you're playing more as well.
right.
Bron could very well
Bron is,
Get a couple
Bron
more.
is not going to the Super Bowl of the NBA championship in 4 or 5 years. Because he's not doing it this year, and he ain't going to do it next year.
he doing next year.
Okay. Well, you know what? That's what you said at the beginning of this year. I guarantee.
A lot of you guys, a lot of you
people
guys
said
thought
that
that with this year.
No.
It's almost what LeBron did with this roster that he had. It's like we play at the district. You know what I mean? We play at the district.
That's the same roster that Bron got.
We're gonna give a shout out to my boy County Frank. You know what I mean? With the district, but it's like playing at the district. We play pickup. So it's like, okay, you know on the sideline, you know how we pick our 5 or whatever. You know that there's guys that can really ball, but then you gonna go pick your boys just to ride with you.
That's what Brian did.
And sacrifice winning versus riding with your boys. That's essentially what is going on.
You saying Brown was trying to make sure Melo got another check?
Yeah.
That's essentially.
You think that's what really happened?
Absolutely.
Russell
Melo was a homeboy chopping network.
Right. Russell and Melo, those two were definitely that.
I think Brian forgot how crazy extraordinary he is. And that he thought, okay, I got these dudes who I've watched kill in the NBA for so many years. We good. He's talking his shit. We good. It's my boys. We've been killing for years. He's like, your boys are getting old. Somehow you're not.
Yeah.
We don't know what's going on. But they are getting old, fam.
Right.
Somehow you're not.
They are.
And you believe that you're going to get the same Melo or the same Russ or the same. It ain't gonna happen.
But it's equivalent, like it's equivalent to really establishing an all-star team too. You have to gel like over time, like in a shorter period of time too, to make that happen. Especially when you're in the Olympic, you're playing against other countries or what have you. So you have to gel in a short period of time.
Absolutely.
With this, it's an 82-game season plus.
And they all rich as hell.
And
Right.
They have
You can't tell that locker room nothing. Everybody worth $300 million.
Right.
No desire
Right.
to win a championship.
Now we chilling, fam.
Right. So all right, let me ask you this, right? We flip scales a little bit. So what would you have done if Will Smith came up and slapped you in your face?
A couple things.
Since you want to be a comedian.
I ain't thought about this before.
Right, since you want to be,
I tweeted said Oscar review. We don't talk about Bruno or Jada.
Oh man.
That's the review.
Hey, I got this shirt on for a reason. This is my wine drinking hoodie right here. So I got to hear this.
If Will came up to me and smacked me, I'm Chris Rock. It's a couple, because number one, I'm not talking about Will's wife. Let's start with that.
But as a comedian, where do you draw, right? Because I thought the joke was almost funny. It was funny, right? It was cool. It wasn't disrespectful.
It wasn't disrespectful, but when you have a resume of talking about the same person.
A pass. So that's what
a pass for sure. And then also on top of that, something they can't control. Black women's hair is something that you ain't gotta understand it. It's for them to understand, for you to choose this moment on this stage, this platform,
the environment.
in front of, and you're speaking about, and then you've already done a documentary in the past about called Good Hair, about black hair, and it would have mixed reviews on what you were really trying to say. You were never really clear on that. It's been too many things that have, to me at least, seemed as though you align more with white elitism than you do with black people when you need to, and then not at the Oscars when the whole crowd is white. It's not the time, fam.
That's what I said.
You want to pull me to the side and do something like that? Cool. But for you to choose this right now, but still, I digress. Will slapped me, right?
So after Will slapped you.
So Will slapped you, right? I'm probably gonna respond the same way Chris Rock did in the moment.
Okay.
I'm gonna be like, I don't really realize what just happened. Cause Will
That's what he said. Will Smith just slapped shit out of me, dog.
Yeah, I think he thought it was like, first it was like looked like he was gonna jump at first, and he was like, no, this is the Oscars.
the moment.
That's Will. What are you doing? Chill out. Maybe he lost it. Then I thought to myself, and I was like, I'm too petty for you to slap me in front of all these millions of people and I just do nothing. Number one, I'm a comedian, I'm a black comedian, and I'm from Brooklyn. I gotta still go back into these streets at some point. And I can't just do whatever crowd slap me, can't ignore it. So I told myself, man, as soon as Will would have won that Oscar, I went back up there as Chris Rock and slapped the fuck out of him in front of everybody. What? As soon as he would have got up on that stage, I would say, you must be a goddamn fool. You think I'm not about to catch your ass in the same moment?
Yeah. Okay.
Ain't gonna talk about both of us.
Okay.
What?
I love it.
I'm a grown ass man.
I love it.
Hey, I can't go. But
I love it.
also was like, damn, Will, respect. Thug life. For your woman. You did that.
I love it. You heard it here first. Steelo Brim go slap the shit out of Will Smith.
But that was, if that was any time a moment to like really have your wife's back,
that was the moment?
I don't know if it's the Oscars.
Yeah, that's what I'm still tripping on. That's the Oscars.
That was the moment, though. I mean, like you said, it was just the environment, the people that was in that room. Like you said, the elitism. I think, again, it's a time and a place.
Time and a place.
Yeah, it's definitely not the time and a place.
Right.
Which makes it
right. Time and a place for everything.
If Chris Rock can play like this too. Chris Rock could have been like, yo, I'm chilling, right? Or like, you know what? Or I'm sorry, Will Smith could have played this. He could have been like, you know what? I'm chilling. I heard that. My wife is obviously upset because they caught me laughing in this first moment. But my wife is obviously upset. That's enough for me. I feel like energy. I ain't gotta look over there.
Don't even look over there.
But from there, I would have been like, all right, I got a press on me at the Vanity Fair party. We're gonna all be at the Vanity Fair party or somewhere. All I'm gonna do is you're gonna hear about a commotion and be beating his ass at the Vanity Fair party. Now it's different. I won my Oscar already. The moment isn't ruined, and the press still got it out. The press ain't gonna stop. They're gonna make Chris Rock his ass rock. And
no pun intended. He got his ass. But that was real. I mean, he did it live. He went, bro. He went.
I was mad that the Australians and Japanese were the only people that got to experience it. The way that I wanted to.
It was silent.
It was crazy.
I'm saying they're turning the volume up. I'm like, I can't.
It was unedited. Everything.
There it is, man. We appreciate you coming on the show, man. Tell us where we can find your social media handle and all that stuff, man.
All my stuff is the same. Steelo Brim, at Steelo Brim, STEELOBRIM. That's it, man. Thank y'all for having me.
Man, thank you, man. We appreciate you,
Steelo Brim, Getcha Popcorn Ready podcast.
No doubt.
My man.